Welcome in, Bronco fans. We are getting ready for UNLV tomorrow. It is going to be such an exciting game. Today we're going to break down some footage to kind of look at the opportunities that Boise has to win and where they might struggle as well. So first, let's jump into watching some UNLV footage. We're going to look at this play here. This is going to demonstrate, they like to run the ball first and foremost, just like Boise State, but they have a very tricky quarterback, and the quarterback's very, very good at passing. They have an excellent passing game. So when we look at this, we're going to look at it in slow-mo, and we're going to watch their line right here. This is a basic run play right up the middle, but we're going to kind of see how their offensive line executes. This is against UCLA. They haven't been the best team this year, but they're starting to kind of make their comeback, UCLA. So let's see how they do against them. We'll see they have a nice little motion here where they move their two linemen over. This opens up these guys, but they're kind of already out of the play, so they're going to start creating holes over on this side. However, if we watch these guys right here, we'll see they really struggle against this UCLA line. This guy's getting pushed around. This guy is not really able to open up the gap like he needs to, and you'll see the guy he's pushing is not the biggest guy either. This guy is a little slow, comes to make that block, but really the running back just doesn't have anywhere to go. The line is not able to open up a hole. And I think against our defensive line, who's been playing pretty well, I think that's going to be a struggle. We might be seeing them go to the outside a little bit more. I think inside plays, they're just not going to hold it down against Boise. Let's watch this one here. Another run play. We'll see once again, there's really just not a lot of holes opening up. Their lead blocker tends to be a little bit slow. And I just think with our defensive line, we'll be able to stuff that. Our linebackers are really good at responding, picking up on run plays, and, closing any gaps that there are. But watch these linemen once again. We see same play. They dodge over to the left side there, try to block the hole, and we have a lead. That lead, once again, I mean, the gaps just aren't that open. We've got one here. Let's go back and look at those linemen here and see what they do to open up that hole. I mean, this guy's not even really doing anything in this play. He pops out to try to go to the second level, but they're just a little slow off the line. Got a decent block there. These guys are okay. This guy's kind of just not doing much. He finally gets on the linebacker, but we can see that hole already closing up by the time that the running back gets through it. So when they do open a hole, they're not really holding it open all that well. This leader tends to be really slow. I just think they're going to have a tough time against our defensive line and our linebackers. It's going to be a struggle for them, I think. Let's take a look at what their quarterback can do, because that's going to be a struggle. Boise has had a tough time against running quarterbacks this year. So this is where I think Boise is going to have a little bit of trouble. You'll see this is such a great quarterback. He, I think, is probably the best quarterback in the Mountain West right now. And he's a great dual threat. He can throw it. The wide receivers can get open pretty well. I think our defensive backs are really going to have to play top-notch this game. If they can shut down the wide receivers, it's going to really limit the quarterback. He's still a great runner, and as we've seen, Boise's not necessarily the best at stopping the running quarterbacks. So that's going to be a struggle for him. If we can stop him, kind of contain him, we'll see him go for a run here. Very quick. Once he sees the opportunity, he takes full advantage of it. Oh, nice miss. Makes that guy miss. He's tough to bring down. This guy did a nice little neck wrap there. He's tough to bring down, and he's quick. When he sees the opportunity, he takes full advantage of it. He's going to be a struggle for Boise State. And I think we'll see him running quite a bit because they know it's an area of opportunity for them to take advantage of us. So Boise State linebackers need to have their head on a swivel this game. They need to be watching for that QB to pop out any chance they get. We'll see here once again, this guy comes in and lays into this linebacker, but guess what? He doesn't even have the ball. The quarterback kept it. They're very good at nice little tricky plays like this. It looks like a nice run play that is going to be an easy stop, Not so much. Not so much. Let's watch that again. So fake the handoff. This guy lays into him. What a job getting in by the UCLA guy. But the quarterback ends up keeping it. Very smart heads up move by the quarterback. I don't know if that was designed or if it was an option. It looks designed to me because he's got the leader. Once again, great little cut. Finds the open slot. Breaks through the tacklers. He is a savvy runner. He's very savvy. We need to really watch out for, I think it's Calandria. We need to watch out for him. He is going to be some trouble for us. And I think if UNLV has a chance in this game, he's going to be the guy that keeps them in it. He's going to be the guy that leads these charges. Their run game, like I said, I'm not too concerned with it. They might break a couple decent runs. But overall, I think Boise can hold them down in the run game. But this guy, his run game is a whole nother situation. And not only that, but he's great at passing too. So let's watch this one. Sends a guy in motion. Takes the snap. Play action. Fakes the handoff. He's already looking. Nice pass. Dials it. I mean, he's very accurate. You know, throws a dime right to this guy. Gets the touchdown. So he's not only a good run threat, but he's a passing threat as well. Like I said, our DBs are going to need to step up this game and really be on top of him. If we can shut down the quarterback, I think we can shut down their whole offense. But that's going to be key. That's going to be very key for us this game. So here's another example of their quarterback just throwing dimes. So takes the snap. Offensive line doing a decent job at keeping people out long enough for him to at least make his read right here. And he just throws right on target. Just a perfect throw. He's very good at that. You know, he's an accurate quarterback that can run as well. And that's, I mean, the QB, like I said, he's going to lead the charge. He's the guy that can pick us apart. The rest of their offense, I'm not so concerned with. Like, if he's not playing his top or if we can contain him, then, I mean, it kind of puts their whole offense off kilter. But one thing that does scare me is, like, our DBs aren't bad. Sometimes they play really, really well. But we'll see here, this guy, when he makes his break, it looks very similar to me to how Irby or someone like that would be covering a wide receiver. If we watch the Sam Houston DB here. It looks very Irby-like to me. Just a little bit behind and just enough to where he can't make the play, you know? Our DBs really need to step up, and they need to play a tight defense on this. Once again, this is another great example of their QB and his accuracy, his arm, just what he's capable of in the actual passing game, let alone the running game that we've already talked about here. Nice deep throw. He's got just enough protection. And we'll see once again. To me, it's very Irby-like. I hate picking on Irby. I actually, coming into the season, I was really excited to see what Irby could do. I just feel like he's one of the guys, and he's not the only one. He's just, when I see this, he's the guy that comes to my mind. He tends to be just a step behind people. And with this quarterback, he's able to just dial it right where it needs to be. Their wide receivers can make the plays. If our guys are not playing tight, are not getting their hands in there, they're going to catch them. Like, they have some really good wide receivers and an amazing quarterback that can make the throws. This guy especially, Bradley, he's one of their top wide receivers, and he does this game in, game out. He's going to be one of the guys that we need to shut down. We should probably have, I don't know, Benefield or Mickey or somebody that's very capable on him. Even McCoy sometimes can shut people down. But we need somebody that is going to take this guy out of the game. They have a couple other good wide receivers as well, but Bradley definitely leads the charge here. We've got a 4th and 1. He hands it off. And look at that. Just wide open. Let's go back and we'll watch right from the line here. Let's check out what's happening with the line. So Sam Houston is able to open up this hole. It seems like, especially like if we watch these guys right here, they're really getting pushed around. Watch these two. They're just getting taken completely out of the play. Maybe a little holding there by that guy. He kind of dragged him forward. But I mean, even Sam Houston's able to open up holes and get these explosive plays, and they have nobody in the backfield prepared to stop that run. And it was 4th and 1. Everybody should have been looking at a run. Like, yeah, they could pass it. You know, you still got to cover your receivers, but we got a linebacker here, a safety running up here. This safety should be last line. I think he's concerned with the quarterback running, and he just completely lets this guy through. But if they're doing that kind of stuff against Boise, I mean, we're going to run all over them all day long. And once again, I think that's where Boise can take control of this game. If they can run all over them like Sam Houston did on this play, I mean, I think we're going to see Riley and probably Sire as well breaking big runs like this. Sire is going to have some great runs, and I think Riley is just going to ball out against these guys. I mean, he's going to have those 70-yard TDs, I think, all day long. And then once we start doing that, you know, I mean, Maddox is good with play action. He's not so good with the drop back stuff. And I feel like once our running game starts to excel and the UNLV defense starts to worry about those runs and starts to try to protect that, that's when Maddox excels. That's when Maddox can come through and he can really take advantage of that situation, make the deep throws to Ford, get the throws to Marshall, even those 50-50 throws to Marshall, where Marshall can get the separation and make those jumping catches. So we're going to look at Boise State now. So the first thing we're going to look at is that passing game. I think once we start to open up the run, this is the type of passing that I'm talking about that I think we're going to be seeing from Boise. Maddox is probably going to have a little bit of time. You know, we have a pretty good O-line. And this is a lot of what we see from UNLV is them playing a zone type of coverage where I think we're going to be able to pick them apart a little bit, especially as they start to prepare for the run and move up. But this is what I'm talking about with that open space. I think we need to be using this formation a little bit more. We talked about that on our last video, but this 2-back formation, I think it's going to be pretty powerful. You can see their stuff in the box. They're expecting the run. And I mean, shoot, even with them stuffing the box like this, Sherrod did a great job on this one. He's not really usually that great up the middle, but he did a good job on this one. So we've got a very similar type of play to what we saw from UNLV. We got 2 linemen, or 2 blockers, I should say, moving over to kind of open up that gap on this side. We already have a huge hole here. Makes one guy miss. Nice block there. Nice little dodge. Capel's making a good effort. And Sherrod breaks it open. Then once we start to open up that pass game, Maddox does this nice play action. Now you'll see this is, I think, what we're going to see from a lot of UNLV stuff. Once we start to run the ball on them, we're going to do these play actions and we're going to see all the linemen scoot right on up. And that's going to, look at this, open up all of our wide receivers and put them in open field. And this is where Maddox excels. When he's got guys to find and guys that can make, you know, in the open field, he's got his choice of receivers. He can be accurate. That's really where he excels. It's when there's tight coverage and he's scrambling to try to find who to throw it to that he struggles. And we've got another run play here, I believe. So we've got a guy in motion. Ben Ford, one of my faves. Local Eagle kid. He's doing amazing this year. Riley. Oh, nope. Fakes it. And guess who it goes to? A nice little pass to Marshall. I think this is the type of game that we need to be seeing from Boise State this game, and I think that we can see from Boise. Um, I think if they can utilize that run game to get this type of passing going, it's just going to break this game wide open. Once again, UNLV loves playing this type of zone defense in their DBs, and we can see Ben Ford making a break here to get into that open space right between the zones. Maddox does a great job of seeing that and slipping it right between the defenders, right where it needs to go to get the touchdown. All right, so we're going to look at a run play here by Boise. And I want you to remember what we were seeing with UNLV's defensive line, how they were kind of getting pushed around. People, even Sam Houston was able to open up those gaps on them. And I'm not saying App State's that much better, you know. I think their line was pretty on par with probably what we'll see from UNLV. But we'll see here our line is able to push these guys around and create the gaps that we need to be seeing. There's a nice one that opens up right through here. If we can break out runs like just like this, I mean, this isn't a 70-yard run or anything like that, but it's what we need. If we can break nice runs like this, you know, 5-10 yards per run, it's going to wear them down and they're going to start really protecting the run. And then at that point, Maddox is going to be able to do what he needs to do to make those big plays downfield. This is kind of a little bit of a draw, a delayed run. He steps out and then does a little bit of a cutback. Once again, just like UNLV is doing with their line, we have two guys that move over. Nice little spin move. And it's like, here's the thing with our offensive line this year. They don't create the holes that we need, the gaps that we need sometimes, but they're moving people downfield, you know. They're taking people out of the play that need to be out of the play. And these guys, look at him shoving this guy downfield. Same with these guys. They're moving everyone back. And that's what gives the runner the space and the room to do what he needs to do to get the yardage. So even when we're not opening up the gaps in the line like we want to just blast through and get into the open field, it gives them the room to do what they need to do. And if we can do that against UNLV, I think it bodes well for us. So I think the outlook looks very positive for Boise State on this one. They need to control their penalties. That's been an issue that we just can't have in this game. We can't be getting, you know, to 2nd and 4 and then all of a sudden get a penalty and now, you know, we're starting over. It just can't be done. That's going to be a key to this game. Containing their quarterback is going to be a huge, huge thing. I think if he's able to run on us, he's going to be able to throw too. I think if he can start running, it's going to cause our defense to be so concerned with blocking that QB run that it's going to open up all the wide receivers. And we just can't have that. So our line needs to step up. Our linebackers need to step up. They need to contain. I think we need to put a little bit of pressure on him so he can't necessarily feel like he can run as freely. And then on the offense, you know, our O-line needs to dominate. Our O-line needs to create the gaps. Our running backs need to take advantage of that. And all of a sudden, Maddox can do what he needs to do. He can create those big passing plays, get the big third downs if we do get penalties, which hopefully we don't. But that's going to be the key here. It is. And they do have some great kick returners. We cannot allow another run back. If we allow more run backs, like, ugh, man, that is just a momentum killer. And I'm hoping Boomer just kicks it out of the end zone every time they don't even get a chance to run it back. That would be ideal for me. And I think if we can do all of that, we can almost blow these guys out. Like, I think we can come out pretty damn strong, and I think we can win by at least 2 touchdowns. I think Riley can ball out in this one. They have, like I said, the worst run defense in the country almost. I think it's like bottom 5. It is terrible. And we don't have the best run game this year. Not as good, of course, as last year with Genty, but we have a pretty damn good one still, and our O-line is not bad. And I think if our O-line can push them around a bit, we're going to take advantage of that. So that's the key to the game for me, is run on them, open up the pass game with the runs. Even if our pass game isn't going good, if we can run the ball, just keep pounding the rock, those 5 yards every run, it wears them down. It eats up the clock so that they don't have time to run offense. They don't have time to respond to anything we score. And we can just win the game by pounding the rock if that's the only thing we can do. But that's gonna need to come first before anything else. And then on defense, once again, contain their QB. They have Jet Thomas, which is an amazing running back. He does a great job. I'm not as concerned with that just because their line doesn't seem to be as, like, their O-line isn't as good as our D-line, in my personal opinion. And I think if Jet Thomas is able to break some big runs, it's going to be up to him to do it. And I'm not saying he won't be able to. I just think it's not going to be as consistent as what we'll see from the Boise run game. So I have Boise winning in this one. I think I was thinking something like a 38-21 at first, 38-24. I'm actually almost upping that at this point. If we can perform and do all the things we need to do, I think it could be up into the 40 range for us scoring wise. We just can't have this become a shootout. UNLV has a way of making plays that should not be made. Tipping balls and getting interceptions off of them. Can't be having that. We know Maddox has that issue with the line tipping balls. We need to avoid that type of stuff. We need to be running first in this game. And then, running back kickoffs, like just weird little breaks like this that end up saving a game for them. And most of their games have not been against very good opponents, but they're able to squeak out a win. I mean, even against Idaho State, they were down for quite a bit, and then they were able to come back. And they're consistently able to make those comebacks because of these lucky plays, these tipped interceptions, these kickoff returns, different things like that, that if we can avoid weird things like that happening, weird things coming up, and just play a consistent game, I think we'll take it. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Tell me what your guys' score predictions are, what you think are going to be our opportunities against UNLV, and where we might struggle. I would love to hear you guys' feedback. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. Please like and subscribe. We're a new channel. We're trying to get going, so every little bit helps. If you're enjoying the content, you want more, hit that sub button. We'll get it there for you. So enjoy the game tomorrow. If you guys are going to the game, be loud. Be very loud. The coach was taking shots on us. He was saying that Allegiant Stadium is the loudest fourth quarter stadium in college football. I disagree. I think that was a shot at our last game where people were leaving because of the rain and weather and stuff. Let's show them otherwise. Let's go out there and deafen those guys, man. Let's make it like the championship game where they're false snapping because they can't hear the quarterback. Like, I want it to be like that atmosphere. So get out there, be loud, have fun, and we'll see you guys after the game. Thanks again. Go Broncos.